here we go. You remember the bet from, almost exactly a year ago, where I bet that Anne-Marie couldn't demo the kitchen in under 4 hours before the reconstruction, and she did it in an hour. And I bet her a hot tub. So, what we have here, it is a 6-seater HotSprings Vanguard. We were able to, fella had a skid steer, and so he was able to, he had forks on his skid steer, so I was able to pick it up, put it on our trailer. And this was last October or November. So now that we're through the winter, I've had the trailer dropped off, and we're starting to go through it, clean it up. There was a little bit of electrical that needed to be done because some mice were able to get in, eat some of the wires, but that's all I could see was 2 or 3 wires, one for a jet control, one for an ozone control. So what we're looking to do now, we want to get this wired up so we can test it on the trailer. We haven't seen it run. So the 220 is come out to the sub panel, and the idea is that the sub panel is going to be run off this generator, and I need 50 amps. There's a 20 amp and a 30 amp in there. What I'm holding off on right now is I want a second set of eyes to look at how I'm wiring this and give me an opinion on if this is going to work, so that nothing goes really bad. This should be a 3-year-old model. The folks I got it from said they used it for 2 years, they drained it, and then it sat for 1. Pulled all the plugs and there was nothing that came out, so I do think it was drained. We've wiped it down, we've cleaned it up. So if it works, we have to get new pillows, and ultimately a new top, because this is Vermont and we're going to try and hold all the heat in that we can. Little dings and damage on the outside, but for a freebie, I'm willing to take the shot. So we'll get this checked out. If that looks good, we'll plug it in, we'll fill it up, we'll see if all the pumps work, we'll see if the heater works, and we'll start doing a cleaning cycle to get this all cleaned out. And if that's the case, then we'll go about getting our pad set up, and we'll get a tractor and some forks, and we'll get this lifted off and down. I don't know if I could actually tip this off and do anything other than a tractor, but we're going to find out. Alright, here we go. Day 2. So last night I spent some time sitting up and reading about powering a hot tub from a generator, at least temporarily. Kind of with the idea of, look, if someone lost power up here in the middle of winter, you had a generator, you'd want to at least use it temporarily to keep from blowing out the lines and cracking things up. So I believe this can be done. So what we have, we're going to hook up to a Honda, 8700 watts. It looks like this needs about 4500 watts to run the full 50 amp. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to get some shims for the hot tub, get it perfectly level. It's still a little low in one corner, and I'm going to brace up the front of the trailer here, and then we're going to slowly fill this and attempt to determine if it actually works, if the electrics are good or not. We haven't actually put any power to it, so we don't know. And if that all works out and jets work and heat works and all that, well, then I need a plan for getting it off the trailer, and I got to make a pad, and I got to wire up the 220 to the house somewhere. So one step at a time. Alright, so we got to take the filters out.
You ready?
Yep. Okay, you can take it out. Alright, let's just put that down. We'll let this drain a bit. Figure out what that is. Alright, here's what we have here. Started filling from the top, and immediately water started running out down by the heating element. And we do have this one snapped off piece. So I'm going to try and take this out, kind of disassemble this carefully, and for testing purposes, I'm going to see if I can reaffix this in some way, shape, or form at least to test, and if everything else works, then see about replacing. Alright, so both these fittings ended up snapping off while I was testing things out today. So what I've done is I've rolled up some, like, I don't know, 40 grit sandpaper to get enough bite to spin these things. And other than it tearing up my fingers, there we go. Number 2, so if I can fix these, maybe this is all still salvageable. So what I've done is I've glued where these snapped. I think this is a 3/4 inch ID barbed threaded adapter, and I can get these, but what I want to do is I want to test, because I don't know what else is wrong. So if this holds enough to be temporary to test today, great. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the tubing, because heating up the tubing will make it flexible, so I don't get the, the tension on here to snap it again. And hopefully we'll get a chance for a test and see if there's any other issues. But I got to try and do this gentle so I don't snap it off. Otherwise, well, I got to go get a permanent one. So that's what I'm going to try now, is warm this up. Get this all flexible.
And while you're doing that, someone's living her life over there. Rolling around in the grass.
I'm burning off mouse droppings.
Yeah, right? No wonder Chloe's over here.
It's starting to get malleable. Whew. It's really warm when I put my finger in front of it.
Yeah, I would say maybe don't do that. Just a thought.
Alright, here we go. Take 2. We'll see if JB welded fittings and couplers hold. Test here. Alright, put it down the gray tube and let's see.
What's it doing?
I see water filling. I see the water in there. See water going both ways so far. Not seeing any leaks. Okay, water is up past here in the tubing. I just saw it pushing air bubbles out there.
So is it okay that it's
I got
a little bit in here?
Yep. I have a micro drip from the one in the back. Now that could be just that I don't have it tightened down enough. And we're going to keep going. Of course, when all the water pressure comes and we try to turn on jets, we might just blow that off, but one step at a time.
But what I'm saying is, like, the inside here is filling up.
Yep.
Is that supposed to?
Yep. Yep.
That's supposed to?
Yep.
Or I'm supposed to put this farther down in there.
I guess as far as it goes. But it's coming out the bottom there, so that works. I hear air bubbles.
And water's coming in down there now too.
Yeah.
But water's supposed to leak around there?
Oh sure. That's all that is wide open because that's part of the filter. And oh sure, coming from the guy with tons of spa experience, clearly.
Yeah. You can tell that I'm like really, I'm sure about that from you.
Alright, I got more leaks coming around the heating element.
Is that a different thing than what you had been working on?
So that's what I've been working on.
Like we should turn this off?
No, we're going to keep going. Just trying to figure out where.
Spontaneous combustion.
It may not be a new leak, it may be the same one, just flowing slightly different here.
Because our goal today is to turn the jets on?
That's what I would like to do. I would like to turn it on and see if there's any more issues. Obviously these fittings are going to need to be replaced. That just kicked in all the big power, heater, everything like that. So let's see what these jets do.
Well, maybe after. Oh, there they go. There they go.
We got burst plumbing in the wall somewhere.
Well, hey, Chloe, get out of the water. Chloe, I don't want you to get like zapped or something. You've turned the power off?
Yep.
So she can't get zapped?
Yeah. Alright, the adventure continues, huh?
Mm-hmm. Let me at it.
Keep digging. It could actually be anywhere in the plumbing, and it's just finding this crack out. Let me warm my fingers up. Oh yeah.
Here, how about I'll do it for a little
You want to dig for a little bit?
Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna use tools.
Well, easy going.
Why?
Clean
Because
this up with a rake.
I might actually make a hole in the plumbing.
Well, that's gonna be a couple of cans of spray foam.
Whatever. Whoa! Big hole!
Well, I think it's time to drain the tub.
What is that?
I think that's part of the plumbing down in there is my guess. Because I don't see a big crack. It's hard to tell what I'm looking at, but that might be a burst pipe. Looks like a little black pipe or something in there. Alright, so we're gonna let that drain down. I can't tell where that is, but it's actually starting to look like it might be a, you know, there's no cracks in the tub, so there's gotta be something burst right around one of the jets that let water go through, because that water pressure could have been building up anywhere, but there's plenty of pressure coming out the bottom. So we'll let it drain, we'll get into it a little bit deeper, see what we can find, and we'll keep going from there. I'm letting it drain through the hose and the rest of the plumbing. But it's going to drain a lot faster from the other side right now. So, that's it for today. All right, lunchtime, day 3, pandemic project.
One of a few pandemic projects.
One of a few pandemic projects. Got the hot tub offloaded from the trailer, tipped it up on its side, and what we think we're learning now is that this isn't actually structural support. That is the plumbing. I think that's the leak we're tracking down, or at least one of them. So
Let's hope it's just one.
just one. That's a big.
But that's a big leak.
It's a big leak. Well, I'm going to continue to excavate it like Indiana Jones around here.
Okay, let's not be dramatic.
It's archaeology.
You're not Indiana Jones.
And I am Indiana Jones. All right. Looks to be the big leak we were seeing in this section of pipe. And I'm up to the point where it's dry foam. Certainly the rigid stuff. That's dry. A little damp, wet. Into the rigid stuff, dry. Wet, dry. So, I think I'm in the right area. And if you can see it, big hole. Big burst. So now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna cut that out. And either put a coupler in there, but it's cracked most of the way through, or most of the whole length of that pipe. So I might have to try and peel that out from within some of the coupler without cracking up that coupler. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. So, one step at a time. So this is actually working really great for pulling off the pieces that are stuck on the PVC, because I've got to get the PVC cleaned up, and then my plan is to put a hose clamp on it and try to get this broken piece out. So this is a good idea. All right, that's the piece. Probably an 8-inch long crack in the 2-inch flex pipe, and I've cut out the damaged section. So now we just need parts. Right, Chloe?